Hello and welcome to episode 8 of our Timberborn Update 6 Waterbeavers playthrough here in cycle 8 to day 18, 1.8 days left in this very short bad tide. Last time we made some pretty good progress, getting a couple more things established, and I really wanted us to get to the floodgate dams as quickly as possible. However, it seems that I somehow, don't know how, and no, all joking aside, I know exactly how this happened. I forgot about a couple of tech tree things, and we unfortunately found ourselves a little bit bogged down because of that. However, things are looking pretty good, despite there being, you know, just an absolutely enormous quantity of red sludge flowing through the map at this point. We are in a good position to make some progress very quickly. As soon as Cycle 9 starts, we have this primitive dam here that is not yet finished. I left it unfinished because I knew this bad water was going to come through here. We have this farmhouse that can be finished once we have some more logs, and that's going to allow us to plant rice. All the way down in here, probably this entire thing filled with rice at this exact moment. Not quite yet, but they'll get there. Not going to be a problem. But since it's a bad tide, we should take advantage of all of the dead brambles that are going to be happening. More in our trees that will die. But we should try to, you know, tame these things, get a little bit more stuff accomplished, and start planting some more stuff. Remember, this farmhouse is going to be able to do not only the rice here, but also probably as much of this space as we can possibly plant with actual crops. And the bad tide killing the brambles is going to make that very easy. Once they're dead, I can just path over them, and that's not going to be a problem. The rest of this stuff, we're not going to be quite so lucky on. So, before we get too far, let's go ahead. Since we have the ability now to mark these things for planting, we have a forester that can reach most of this area up here. I'm going to go ahead. Oh. I can't plant blueberries. Who was it that told me to plant blueberries? Never mind. We have to have the tree nursery, and that is very far in the future. So, can't do that. Also, can't plant grapes. So, I definitely replied to at least one or two people saying, hey, okay, we'll do that next time. And, well, now I'm a liar, because we can't. It's going to take a really long time to get there. So, good idea gone bad. It is what it is, but the thought was there. And that's what matters, right? So, fortunately, these brambles are all going to die. Most of them. And we will mercifully be able to get rid of all of that nonsense. We do still have plenty of berries here. It's not that big of a deal. That's just fine. We planted some chestnut trees last time. And we're going to continue planting some more chestnut trees here once these other pines are cut down. And just make incremental progress. Remember, we have to have chestnuts to make chestnut beer. And the chestnut beer gets turned into alcohol in the distillery, which we've already built and cannot do anything with. So we can either wait to get half-fermented sake out of the... Oh, where are these things? Out of the... oh, come on. Fermentation barrels. Or we can take the same amount of time and fewer chestnuts to make the same amount of, well, base alcohol, the chestnut beer. 15 of those. Unfortunately, the chestnut trees take 23 and a half days to grow, and then another 8 days to give us chestnuts, so probably not happening this episode, unless we somehow manage to get these trees grown a lot quicker. These right here, like, these are going to keep growing for the next day and a half. The rest of these are either going to die or just not be grown at all. And while it is sad to see these pine trees die off, what it does mean is that we can cut down all the dead ones, and probably, until we have some other way to handle this, probably just, you know, keep cutting down all of these guys. So we'll get a beaver in there. We are, if you look over here, it does say 14 vacancies. That's because we have 8 incapacitated beavers that we cannot do anything with. We talked about it a little bit last time. The medical beds require these materials that we cannot yet make. The mild diseases, I guess we could treat if we wanted to do that with the bramble flowers, but there's only one beaver that has mild disease right now. We have 5 who are injured. They have to have half-fermented sake. See, there you go. There's always something. Always something. So, hopefully you can understand that. Let's just go ahead and triple speed through the night here. There's still tons of stuff to get to, and we're going to do our best. But before that is a thing, we do have to come in here and take care of all this. All right, so these brambles are dead due to contamination. These are not. So now the sun is up. Let's hit pause. We're going to do this rationally. And by rationally, I mean, I can't do that with paths anymore. Never mind. I always forget. Okay. So it seems we are going to have our regular beavers come in here and do this, or I can just spam these things down to replace all of the dead things, and then just get rid of them. Is this a very scientific, super correct way of, you know, taking care of this problem? Objectively, no. But I'll tell you what it is it's going to make absolutely sure that there is nothing in that square. And then we can cut down the rest of these trees, and so on and so forth. Life goes on, etc. So, just do me this kindness, bear with this madness just a little bit. And yeah, that is... I don't care. I don't care if that is dead. It's going to be gone away. Except I can't actually do anything about that, so if I just mark these for demolition... it's on a path, which is why I can't really do anything about that, but that can go away. That. All of that goes away. Look at how clean this is. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it beautiful? So now we can take all of our beautiful demolished buildings and actually demolish them. Just like so. Nice and easy. So quickly. Beautifully. Perfectly. No problems. No tears. Only dreams. Or whatever that stupid meme is of the flying lawnmower. I don't know. There's at least, 75% of you who are going to have no idea what I'm talking about. But that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and take care of this as well. Okay. And get that connected. And then all we've got to do is get rid of, what, 3 things of brambles? Which we know these guys can definitely do, and we're going to have so much more space for activities. So many crops. And we can even have everything connected with a path. Super easy. I like that so much. And all of these are dead too. So since we're already here, I know this is your favorite thing ever to see me do is just, no, come on. Spam click these single storages to get rid of stuff. Since the paths don't do it anymore. But, as you can see, this is really, really, really going to open up a lot of opportunities for us. And I, for one, am very excited to see a whole lot of these things die a miserable death, because I hate them with every fiber of my being. That being said, look at that. Oh, it's wonderful. Absolutely beautiful. Then we can also say goodbye to all of those. Not the stuff that we're actually growing, mind you, but just so much that can be removed. And, these are going to keep growing as one does. But we can go ahead and just wall these off. So they can't advance beyond that point. There's nothing left on that side. These two can go away. Boy, that was a lot of stuff. But I absolutely promise you it's going to be worth it. So, no, not 40, not 30 times speed. I want 1 of the 3, but now I have to go back to 1. There we go. Now we're back on 3 times speed. Still looking pretty okay on food, but it is going down. We have acknowledged that. That's going to be something we're going to continue to address. I do have these lumberjacks continuing to cut things down, getting those trees. This tree is fully grown, but it's also going to go away. I guess I probably don't need to build this farmhouse immediately. Probably not. Let's take this out of triple speed. I feel like I'm going to forget something. Taking a look at the notes, which is always a smart idea. We talked about the berries, that we can't plant those yet. The mushrooms. Mushroom buildings. I've got this paused. What I really should have done is deprioritize the workplace, prioritized by haulers. I need to make sure all of them are like that. And now they are. We can actually continue growing stuff. We really probably should have at least 1 or 2 more of these. And at some point we probably will. But again, for now, this is about the only thing we can do. Get that pile out of there. It shouldn't have been built. We are waiting, once again on strong alcohol, to make more brain-boosting salts, when in actuality we probably should still be making tar. Thank you for those of you who pointed that out. But, again, so much stuff, so little time. It is certainly a process. We are trying to make more sawdust, and I did say I was going to, you know, once they finish that screw press axle, I was going to get rid of this, which I forgot to do. But this one currently is still looking okay, and we need the sawdust now, so I'm going to have that set up there. Should be a big improvement. Still got tons of where I didn't actually want them to build that stuff. Oops. But, you know, that's how that goes. We'll get it taken care of. I got some more trees to cut down here for wood purposes, so we'll just do that. That is fine there. Give us a little bit more. These need to be replanted. Obviously, they can't grow right now, but I'm going to replant them as chestnut trees. I did say that's what I was going to be doing over here. And these need to be unmarked for cutting, because we're not cutting those down. These are the Everblossoms. We need to plant more trees, so we're going to have to put another forester in at some point, but I love to see this, except I don't love to see that. I do not love to see that at all. My God, man. These stupid things. I would say they're like weeds, but they're worse than weeds. They're worse than weeds. It's like, oh, man. I'm gonna age myself here. VeggieTales in the 90s. There's one of those videos where there was a weed, and it grew so large that it destroyed the entire town. That's these stupid bramble things. 90s kids will know. But, God, I hate these things. Every single fiber of my being. And fibers of other people's beings at this point. What am I supposed to do about getting rid of those? Obviously, everything's dead over here. But what's very strange to me is that now this is not infected land anymore. But it's still a bad tide. Is this water no longer contaminated? All right, let's just real quick. Let's go in dev mode, click on these things. Okay, so it does actually start lowering the contamination before the end of the bad tide. I didn't know that. These are at 50.53. If I hit play, yeah, they're going down. Okay. How have I played this game for, almost 2 years now with the bad water being a thing, and I just now figured that out? Yikes. Well, at any rate, we now know that we can do other stuff with our bad water spots. So let's go ahead and get that farmhouse up and running, prioritized, so that as soon as this is safe for beavers to go in, we will send them down here to plant some rice. But hey, we killed a whole lot, and I mean a whole lot, of these brambles. Just have to be able to get rid of those. What I was going to say is that it is probably about time for us to build another layer on the pit and ladder lodge, except have it be a layer that has housing for builders. Which, we click on this thing here, we have the option to do haulers or builders. I have also said that over here would be a good place to build some additional housing. And I believe these all employ haulers, so we would have to have either under village jobs. Is that one of these here? There's one of these buildings, I don't know where it is, that will just house builders. But, you know how it goes. So I suppose probably the easiest thing for us to do is just to have the builders either with a side door or a top thing. I don't think I'm going to have room here to put any of those. So tower segment it is. Just get that rotated to be the correct way. Doesn't really matter. And now it's cycle 9. And we're going to have some nice clean water here before too long. I really, really, really hope they can get rid of these wild brambles before they spread or grow large enough to be removed without problems. Yeah, it is what it is. Got to get these guys in here. Come on, one more log. I know you have it. I know you have another log. And I know the hierarchy here is going to let me do that. All right. That's finished. We have a worker. Thank you very much. This is now clean enough for me to send a beaver down in here. We absolutely must plant and grow rice expeditiously. Plant it right this second. Please, I am begging you. Get in there. Because rice takes 8 days. And we're going to need every single second of those. If we can at all. So, fortunately, that's going quickly enough. We do still need to put a dam in place here to keep all of our clean water. And, you know, previous episode me was so confident that he would be able to put in one of these diversion dams in here. Yeah, that wasn't the case. But what we can do, a low-tech solution. You see how all of this water is coming through these tiny little choke points here? Let me get this back on. I'm pretty sure if I just put a single building either here or somewhere around like this, I probably have this tall and narrow lodge. Ah, see, that blocks the doorway. Okay, so maybe not quite that one, but if I were to put, say, that right there, and we're able to get up with some stairs and platforms, then that would completely block any flow in the event of another bad tide. And I think that is not a terrible idea. You may disagree, but that is totally fine. This watertight lodge needs to go away. I know some of you have not been a fan of how I've handled that, but we will get there. I promise you we'll get there. It's just going to take some time. So planting again here. I'm going to prioritize the planting of the chestnut tree that's up here. Obviously that's going to be super important. Alright, have we finally rid ourselves of the brambles up here? These are all dead. Those are all dead. Oh yes. Mercifully we have. And not a moment too soon, because we don't need more cabbages. We definitely don't need more cabbages. But other plants that we can grow, including sunflowers, probably would be a very good idea, considering we're turning those into sunflower oil. So I will go ahead. I'm going to leave farmhouse room next to this, so we can, actually use the space. And probably are going to want to kind of redo how these are laid out. But for right now, we can definitely start planting some more sunflowers. So I'll just leave that space right there. The green peas are nice to have, but probably not the most important thing we could possibly be building. And, see, brambles are good because we have to have stuff to make kimchi. But I guess I just need to, keep these. Just keep cutting them down and try our best to, not have to worry about it. So if we want to keep some brambles here, I guess we do need to have a bramble grove. I'll unplant all those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the path go... see, somebody wasn't thinking here. I'm going to, unplant this. So that's not irrigated nicely either. Because this still has nasty water in it. Yeah, see, this is never going to go away. Because that's just going to stay there. That's unfortunate. Well, nothing I can do about that. What I was going to say is that we need to have our path go through here, and then I can actually have a path go through to, say, right in this spot. Just hit pause, because you know how these things go. And then I put that there, which means I can have a path go through here, and we can have some trees on this side. If we're actually able to plant them, that's a whole thing. So... that's going fine. That's also probably going to be fine once they plant the rest of these. I want the chestnut trees to be planted first because they take a very long time to grow. 24%, like I said, it's going to take a while. And there's not that many more trees we can actually cut down. While we are on the subject, plank tanks. I always forget that plank tanks are a thing. We do have several in here. We do need to keep replacing those. But they also require the pine resin, which currently we have a lot of, but that gets used in important recipes. And we're not that far away from having a medium tank unlocked. Remember, we have tar, and we have these metal fasteners, although we probably need to start making some more of those. And we need coal, which we don't have. We don't have because they're slow and they're not moving. Why is the game paused? That's fine there. I'm also going to finally plant a red cabbage somewhere that it's going to let me put it in the range of whatever. That just keeps these assistant farmers from being mad all the time. So at the very least, that is working. We have rice growing. We are planting sunflowers. There's other stuff we can do here. We are attempting to make tar. We're doing our best. We're absolutely doing our best. Now, aside from that, we do still need to have some more beavers. They're in the process of building the Builder's Tower segment, which is going to continue helping what we're doing. Just going to let them do what they got to do. Get that finished. We'll have 4 more builders. Or, I'm sorry, 3 more builders. I forgot they changed that for this. But we are making progress. I do see the food going down dangerously. Gonna be okay. Gonna be fine. This guy has no more trees to cut, huh? I thought I marked that one, but I guess not. So, take that out there. These are all cut down. That's fine. Never again will we be burdened by the horrible, incredibly horrific nastiness of the brambles. Those couple trees can go away as well. That should be pretty straightforward. And then I can plant some more stuff here. I just hadn't before because it was all nasty watered. Sunflowers, again, going to be very, very, very important as we continue playing this playthrough. That's looking good. The problem with our braised cabbage, we take a look here, is that it needs mushrooms. We've already talked about mushrooms. We're making them. That's fast mode. That's fast mode. That's slow mode. That is bad mode. So, probably because we have a relative lack of sawdust, we're running into issues with that. We have 77 beavers, which, if you're keeping track at home, does mean that we no longer have enough water pumps to adequately supply them, and we're going to have to continue building those. I talked about the water pump upgrades, which is something we can't quite get to yet, because we don't have the gears. And if you remember, the gears are made in the Mechanics Lodge, which has to be unlocked with 100 science. And also 10 sheets of paper, which I believe I thought we had. Or no, we used those to make something else. What happened to all my paper? Well, I have everything else. Oh, no, I don't. I don't have the tools. Okay, this is supposed to make tools. Alright, well, I'll just unpause that. That's fine. So much to keep up with. It really is extremely hard. Just please understand. Please understand. I'm actually trying my best here. If you doubt me, try this mod for yourself and let me know how it goes. Still making tar. Still trying to make tar. We need more sawdust. We're consuming it. I really don't want to build another log gnawing station because this is just such a huge demand on the workforce that we already do not have enough of. But this is ready to go now. We got these 3 as builders. We probably currently don't need to have 3 builders, so I'm going to deprioritize that. Haulers we almost certainly do, but we have all these other things that these guys probably should be doing. Sunflower oil has this tank here. Again, we need to be making larger ones, but that will take time. I guess there's probably no harm in going ahead to build the primitive dam here. Yeah, see, I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem if we do have a bad tide because, well, the water is going to be coming in here anyway. Unless we can put our little house here until we have our what do you call it? This thing. floodgate dam, which of course does require a blueprint, and the blueprint for that has to be made in the Mechanics Lodge, and then the Artist's Lodge, which I don't know that we've talked about. The Artist's Lodge has to beautify it, which is, yeah, right here. The Artist's Lodge, fortunately, is a building that is already unlocked. We just don't have a reason to be using it right now, and I can't afford to turn my paper into books. Which reminds me, we need to have paper. And the paper mill was paused because we didn't have sawdust. This one's supposed to be making sawdust. Every 1.2 hours, it makes 12. Then we have this guy also that is supposed to be making sawdust, but nobody's working there because someone deprioritized it. So I'm going to get at least one beaver back in here so they can continue making some more sawdust. We absolutely must have sawdust. So many planks, so little time. I guess what I could probably do is, since these aren't full anyway, just go ahead and get rid of all those non-plank tanks and just put in additional plank tanks. You know how it goes. They just have a little bit more storage, and that is going to be good enough for us right now. What's this one? That's just a regular tank? Well, guess what? Not anymore. There we go. And we should probably build a couple more of those in various places. But I digress. We are continuing. So those can all be marked for cutting there, and they will, you know, grab the bramble flowers. This is still making kimchi. We probably need to have another fermentation barrel, but I'm not confident enough in our production of other foods to go ahead and take away a whole bunch more cabbages to make more kimchi, which, you know, kimchi is only used by the library, and they're not currently going through all of it anyway. It's these brain-stimulating mushrooms, which I bet you is a sawdust problem. Actually, no, it's just a this is slow problem. 1 every 2 hours. So 24 hours a day, assuming a full supply, you're only going to make 12 brain-boosting mushrooms, brain-stimulant, whatever it is. And every 2.5 hours, you're going to use 2 of those. So we definitely need to have another mushroom grower making the bad ones. But we don't have enough sawdust. So you see how this very quickly becomes a problem. Oh boy. Well, it is only the dawn of day 3. We're still looking okay, but we need to address the water problem very soon. So again, we cannot build the upgrades yet. We don't have the gears. We can keep building water pumps. We have to have a space to put them. Ideally, if I had my rathers, I would have them all be next to each other so we could just have a straight line completely all the way across. You know as well as I do, that's just not going to happen. So we're going to have to start getting creative with how these things are set up. We do have the ability, remember these are levees, and the beavers do like being wet, so I could just put 2 of these right here, but that would block this whole thing off. If I put 1, just like this, I don't have to build anything else, and it goes down into the bottom of this little reservoir here. I think for, you know, what we're working on now, that is probably going to be the best possible option. That's also going to give us a space to put a pit tank if we want to use 28 logs, which I don't really think is a great idea. But if I put these here, they're going to be flooded. We can't really do that. We just got to do what we can with what we have. That's what we always do. This guy here, this river bath, I think probably should move. If I put the river bath, oh, see, now this isn't gonna play nice here, and I don't want to get rid of that quite yet. Or do I? Okay, hold on. Where does this goes through to here? Okay, yeah, okay. Somebody actually left comments about this, and I hadn't done it. If I demolish these blockages, this water will expand over to here. If I take these out, this water will go all the way to here. I think that's a smart move. That's going to be a lot more irrigation, and it's going to give us, well, enough extra water storage. So if we go ahead and demolish these, I really should have been doing this a long time ago. We demolish those, then I'm going to demolish all of these, like I said, because we know we've bad water-proofed this thing. Just get rid of that, get rid of that. we'll have to put in pathways to get through here. But that's going to get us clean water all the way out to here. And then this primitive dam here is going to, just make this entire thing work perfectly. If we wanted to, we actually haven't finished construction of this. We could get all of our materials back. We could put that dam over here. The only problem is going to be getting a beaver over there without, poisoning them. But I think it might be possible. We're just going to have them come through up this way. And I don't really need to be stressed out about that quite yet. we got plenty of other stuff to do. But for right now, this is definitely going to be a good start to get all that taken care of. If they can actually reach these without me taking out more paths, that would be great. And I guess it only does take one for them to get the water going back in there. But I suppose we'll go ahead and just give them a little bit more path as well so they can take care of that. Put that water pump in there. This river bath is going to move, so I can put another one of the water pumps over here. Maybe I could put 2 over here if I'm really careful, but I'm just going to choose not to worry about it. River bath here. I will have to remove this one. That is fine. Sorry you were bathing, but, science, we had to have science. So, that's not how you get science. Look, my brain is very tired, okay? I'm trying real hard. But that's going to give us yet another pump there. It's probably still not going to be quite enough. But, you do what you can do with what you got. That's what we've always said. Are all of these dead? These blasted brambles? I think they are. That's going to mean we probably want to be able to get up to that area as well. But, at any rate, this lumberjack flag can go away. This tapper's flag can go away. We do have some scavenging left to do here. That is fine. There's some trees here we can't reach. Again, we can't walk across anything quite yet. But we will at some point. These trees are cuttable. These trees are cuttable, but I'm holding on to those because obviously we have to have, some sort of pines to get resin from because these aren't grown yet. These are still growing. They're supposed to be growing. These are supposed to be planted. Why are we not planting? Okay. That's fine. Going over here. I suppose I could probably go ahead and cut these pine trees down here, because now we have those permanent ones over elsewhere. It'll be the easiest thing for us to do. Tapper's flag, I don't think there's any more trees to tap that are actually in range of this. Yeah, they're all tapped out, literally, so that's a job we can, claw back from the beavers. Still have space here. Things are improving. Injuries, again, we can't do anything with quite yet, but we will. I'm just really happy we have all this extra water storage now. That is tremendous. That's really going to help. I know it's going to evaporate quickly, but remember, this is normal mode. Maximum drought length of 8 days, so it theoretically shouldn't evaporate. It's just going to give us more to pump from. So much to do, so much to do. Sawdust-wise, I would like to get the mushrooms a little bit more stable before I turn on the paper mill again, because I know we don't quite need it yet. The rice is going to be nice. 30% of the way done there. Obviously, the chestnuts aren't going to be done for quite some time. So, I'm trying to remember what I'm supposed to be doing so I don't make any more boneheaded mistakes. Okay. Still making tools. That's fine. I do think there's a few more that I would probably like to have before I put this back onto metal fasteners. So we can leave that alone. Yeah, it's probably time to go ahead and build another mushroom grower. I don't have the logs quite yet. But yeah, so we have to have more mushrooms. So this guy is 94% of the way to having a 90 mushrooms, 40 mushrooms. This is still in fast mode. I guess I'll go ahead and put this in slow mode too, just because long term that is a better option to have. Oh, see, these are going to be basically synced up. That's unfortunate. But it is what it is. Still making sunflower oil, which we do have plenty of at this point. That's looking good. Still making tar, which we needed to have, so that's fine, instead of just sitting here waiting for brain-boosting salts to be a viable option. The hand of soup is unfortunately just about empty, and the only food we really have left after that is the cabbage, because the kimchi is in kimchi jail. It's going to have 30% more to go on that. We can't make any more braised cabbage because we don't have any mushrooms, but we're about to have 40 more mushrooms, so that should hopefully go to the cooking tent. That should be fine. Tell you what I don't need is I don't need to have more cabbages up here. I can absolutely get rid of that stuff. That was the wrong button. I needed that one. This storage for sawdust probably is never going to be full ever, but it's what we have right there, so that's fine. These are still going to be at like 40%. How are we looking on? Yeah, it's still using logs. There's got to be a better way to get logs. So the French bocce ball, pétanque or something, I think is what somebody said it was pronounced as, is going to have to go away. No, sorry, you're about to go, do that. Nope. We have a wood emergency. And that wood emergency is that we need wood. So just go ahead and pop in this guy right here. Can reach most of those. Make sure these are marked for cutting. We just need the wood. We just need wood, and the easiest way to do that is to cut it down. Just get both of those going. I know we have very limited resources once again. Handicrafter's Lodge is making wooden toys. We probably need to stop doing that. But wait, where's the I just scrolled past it. Yeah, okay, possessions, half the beavers have it. Alright, let's see, pencil sets. We probably don't need any more of those. Dynamite I know for a fact we can't make, so I'm just going to, deprioritize this entire thing. And probably should just leave this like this. Yeah, well, I bet you that's what happened to a bunch of our logs. Sawdust isn't in here, but that would be what happened to a bunch of them. Cut these trees down. I wish I had the science to go ahead and do some regular stairs, but I do think that's going to be better served with some other stuff. Would love to build another farmhouse, but again, I don't have enough logs. I'm trying to get these water pumps going. And we do have that one at least. It's going to get our population up again. Again, only so much we can do about that. Alright, come on. I have to be able to cut down more trees. I just don't have easy access without spending logs. I know I can come up here and cut other stuff down. We got some over here. I was trying to, keep the brambles at bay, but guess what? The brambles are all dead. They can't hurt us anymore, except for over here. But I don't think they can spread past that anyway. So what that means is that we can cut all of these trees down. There, there's not that many more, but that is in range. Gonna let them do what they gotta do. We have trees down here that can be cut down. There's no brambles survived all that mess. So that should be a-okay there. Make sure that one gets marked. Then, of course, all these trees down here, you already know the drill. These guys only have so much range they can use. And I don't want to take them away from everything else they're doing. We're just going to have to be careful. I know the water is still going down very dangerously. But we have more pumps. We're building another one here. That should be the next thing in line once the builders come and grab all that stuff. So I have all these builders. So let's go ahead and get some more beavers in here so they can actually, pick stuff up off the ground and start building. And it's going to be what it's going to be. We'll make it work. Yeah, see how quickly that wants to go now? Now, day 5, we may not get a warning. Day 6, we definitely will. I really hope it's a drought and not a bad tide, because that would be a lot better for us to keep growing some rice, get some other stuff going. The food and water is still dropping quite a bit, but it will improve quite a lot if we can manage to get a good roll here. Okay, so we're going to find out our fate on the beginning of day 6 there. That's, I guess, to be expected. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 water pumps, just in time to be almost at 90 beavers. But that is going to help, even if just a little bit. That's going to help us. We do need to build more, but the problem is they are also a house. Haven't heard that one before, huh? The water pump upgrade is not a house, but it does require materials I don't have access to yet. We could go ahead, when we get to 100 science, we could go ahead and build a mechanics lodge. But remember, the mechanics lodge requires paper, which we haven't been making because I wanted to save sawdust. Now that we have sawdust, I can turn the primitive paper mill back on. Go ahead and just, you know, get these guys out of there. Doesn't seem like they really care. And, yeah, we gotta make paper. 5 hours to make one sheet. To make 10 sheets of paper is 50 hours. It is what it is. I forgot what all of our paper went to. It probably was not to make the alchemist, but... no, it was not. Okay, so where did it go? What did I foolishly spend my paper on? I don't remember. Do not remember. Oh, pencil sets. Okay, well, we needed to have those. Okay, that's fine. We needed to have those. The distillery is once again not distillerying. The rice is once again half grown. So, oh man. I guess the dawn of day 6 is going to tell us a lot about what we're going to have to do. But remember what I said toward the top of the episode? The emergency help there's a bad tide thing is going to have to be just put a house here and figure out a way to get the beavers up enough to get into it. We don't have the science to research the tall platforms, but we do have regular platforms, which, you know, you can't stack these, the crappy platforms. Nor can you stack on different types, but you can put regular platforms on top of those. I don't think that's a thing that previously existed. So, it is what it is. But we're gonna have options. Might not be, you know, the best options, but we're going to have options. We're going to be able to get up here. If I can squeeze a little bit more science out of this, we might actually stand somewhat of a chance. But in the event that we have a bad tide coming in here, it's going to be... Whoa, it's going to be like nightmare mode closeness for the rice paddies. And once again, the chestnut trees are chestnut treeing. We're not going to see those today. Oh man, we're already 43 minutes into this. So this is why I said these episodes have to be long. Because there's just so much to do. Why? Okay, are you this guy? Yes, don't. Okay, I know I told you to cut that down. Don't cut it down. Don't cut it down. That's such a waste of your time. I guess now I have to unmark all of these little tiny dead bushes, or else the beavers are gonna, you know, take those to task. That is unfortunate. And what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here and just spam those storages again. That was such a just ridiculous usage of time, but I was glad to have that space back. I think the rest of this probably should be okay. I'm so worried about this. Alright, come on mushrooms. Come on mushrooms. 44%. 41%. Still making them one at a time. Still making these one at a time. That's fine. Still trying to make some stuff. That's fine. Kimchi. There's actually enough kimchi storage in this to not really be a problem. But man, the mushrooms. The mushrooms are such a limiting factor. We'll be alright though. Water still says we don't have enough. See, this is where this gets really hard, is scaling stuff. How many times have I said that? I need a single gear. I need one gear. I cannot do anything with the water pump upgrades until I get one more gear. But I can't make the gear until I have the mechanics lodge unlocked. And I can't do that until I have 10 sheets of paper and I have 100 science, which is not going to happen anytime soon. Come on. Let's get some stuff done. They're still... Like, are they consuming the paper? Do I have something running that is consuming paper? All right, let's... I feel like I'm a crazy person trying to reason with myself here. All right. Workplace is right here. Anything operating right now that could possibly be using paper? I don't think, unless the Handicrafter's Lodge to make dynamite uses paper, it might. I legitimately do not remember. That's the only other thing that could possibly be happening. Oh, it does. It does use paper. But I don't have any in here. So, where's my paper going? Well, if I don't have the nitroglycerin, so it can't be used anyway, so I guess that's okay. But why? Why is this taking so... I know this isn't the first piece of paper they've made. I can promise you that. Obviously, it's not going to happen anymore while they're sleeping. But here's where we find out. Here's where we find out what we're made of here. Drought or bad tide? Come on, drought. Come on, drought. Wait, what? Oh, I forgot this isn't hard mode. I'm playing too many series. We're going to have to finish one of them. Got to. I can't do this. We have up to 15 days. 15, 16, I think. I don't know why I thought my brain just swapped it over to the 5 to 8 days of the hard mode, because that's what the other two series are playing on. Alright, so that makes me feel a whole lot better about our rice situation. That's good. We will need to have fermentation stuff ready. The fermentation house, again, will take 20 rice, 45 water, 2 days to make 60 half-fermented sake. The fermentation barrel does exactly the same thing, except this is also a house. This is what the fermentation barrel looks like. We've already built one of those. We do not need any more housing right now. So, that is what we are going to... I didn't build one of these, did I? No, I don't think so. Well, later on we'll probably, you know, replace that, but we don't have the ability to do that right now. So, fermentation barrel. I probably should put another one of these mushroom things here. I want to put this in a spot where it's already polluted and I can't really do anything with it. So if I put that there, that's going to be totally fine. Put that under half-fermented sake. Put this here. And I'm going to have to... there's scrap metal. Okay, well, that'll be gone soon enough, and then we will put another mushroom grower there. That's fine. That will be okay. Did we cut down all the trees? Wow, okay. This guy cut down all the trees. That's fine. What's on the ground here? Scrap metal. Oh, hey, we don't need any more of that, do we? We don't have any more storage, which would explain why this... Come on. There we go. That's full. All right. I'll tell you what. I have to have more storage for this stuff anyways, so we might as well just go ahead and take a spot and fill it with some of that stuff. Don't really have a good place, but I guess here is fine. It's kind of out of the way. Again, when we get later on into the game, and I think somebody mentioned this in the comments as well, we're going to have a lot of waiting to do, and then we can start reorganizing stuff. Right now, we just have to get something in and going before it becomes a major, major crisis. Water's still going down. I really need to get more pumping going. Or less water usage, but, you know, good luck with that one. It's one of those things that's probably never going to get any better. Still making paper. I have 2 sheets. I have a whole 2 sheets of paper. That's progress. That's fine. I also don't have the science yet to make the mechanics lodge, so I guess that's okay. I guess we're doing all right. I'm so afraid to get this going faster. Let's compromise and go to 2 times speed, because I know we're trying to make progress here. And I am trying not to keep these episodes super long. I know a number of you have now come out very strongly in defense of these super long episodes. And I appreciate you. But I'm also not going to subject everybody to the 3-hour. Like, I cannot... Well, first of all, I can't even record a 3-hour episode. I got other stuff I have to do. But these do tend to be better when they're longer. We're going to try to strike a good balance with that. Other stuff that we have not done that I've said we're going to do. Again, the floodgate dam is what the floodgate dam is going to be. That's our goal right now. What we're working toward. It will be a process. We talked about building more farm stuff. We built more farms. We have a total of 5, which I feel like is pretty good. Plus we have the assistant farmers. I know theoretically it's supposed to be 1 farmhouse for every 10 beavers. But when we actually have enough mushrooms coming in and staying in stock, then I don't think we're going to have issues. It just, is one of those things where it's really bad until it's fine. And then it's fine, and you're going to be asking yourself, why did I ever think this was bad? I really, really want to put another water pump in. But again, everything's a house, so you have to balance that. These have resin in them already. Okay, so that's probably fine. We're still using resin. I got these brambles to get the flowers. That's okay there. Has this guy got anything else left to cut? Probably not, but they're down here. So I'm going to remove that one. And then I'm going to move this guy down to this level, which is going to give him access to more of the stuff we're trying to work with. Water is continuing to go down. Yes, I am very aware. If I add another pump, I'm also getting another 3 beavers. Unless I pause the storage house. Which, nobody works in this. Okay, well, I'm going to pause it. It's not being used as a dam. It's not cheating. It is just in the water. So that's going to take up a couple spots we're not going to want to use. Pine resin here is fine. See, these also maybe could be paused. But, we only have 86 beavers, so I feel good building another water pump. I don't have a lot of great spots to put this stuff anymore. So, if I have enough logs, which I really don't, I could put some more crappy platforms here. But I'm going to have to start getting some wood back. I'm going to have more stuff to cut down. And this is not an adequate tree farm. It probably wasn't ever supposed to be one, but we're going to have to do something. I really want to get across to here, but I can't get up here unless I have logs to build stairs. Well, we're probably going to just have to suck it up and build some log stairs. At the behest of our beloved viewer who has requested this, I'm going to build some scrambled log stairs, and we're going to get access to these trees here. So thank you, Redneck, for suggesting that. I always forget. I always just go straight to the brown one because it's the first one that shows up, but we can have some lovely scrambled log stairs. That is the original texture for these, by the way. Then these other colors got added back in. But we got some trees here that just need to get cut down. And we can also use this space for other stuff when we get to that part there. I'm not going to, mark all of the dead brambles for cutting because, that's just going to be a waste of the time. But we can just kind of put stuff on top of those guys anyway. Not a big deal. Just want to make sure we're not completely throwing away everything here just because I don't want to play with stuff. All right, so that's going to go there. That's going to go there. So that'll get us 60, 70 logs, which is going to be a tremendous help. Just in time for us to put another mushroom grower here. I could have this go back one more tile. We're going to get access to do a couple of little storages here. Not that I think we really need mushroom storage, but we don't have any mushroom storage. These will hold 200 each, so we don't have to worry about that quite yet. This is going to be a good opportunity for us to put in some more plank storage for stuff like sunflower oil, which we are definitely going to want to have. That's very important, if I can ever find it. There we go. And then, yeah, see, water is dangerously low. I suppose it's going to have to be more sunflower oil. So this is completely full, and we have sunflower seeds, which is fine, because I guess they can eat those, but you know how it goes. Anyway, all that to say, now I can come over here, and we can build some scrambled crappy platforms and use a bunch of logs just to build ourselves something to put a water pump on that can then later be upgraded. See, there's a very good reason to do this. It's just, optimization for the sake of optimization isn't usually optimization, but this is a big enough improvement that we're going to want to make sure we at least kind of try to plan around that. So we're getting more trees. That should be fine. That should take care of itself. Got to get more pumping going. We do have all of this extra water here, which is a very good thing. Just don't forget about that. This right here, I think, would be a good place to put another small tree farm once we have the space to do that. A couple more of these things will go away, and then I'll probably put it like right here. Probably be a decent spot for it. Everything else that we said we wanted to do and what you guys said you wanted to do is kind of dependent on getting some more resources and streamlining some other stuff. So again, it's just going to have to be what it's going to be. But look, we have 106 science, which means we can go ahead and unlock the Mechanics Lodge. Even though we don't have all the paper to build it yet, we can still start the process and get as close as possible. So that will be unlocked there. I have to hide this so I can actually put this somewhere. And I don't have a good spot to put this. Probably never will. But at least for right now, I can, just stick it somewhere. Just put that guy right there for no other reason than I can, and I can just put a little bit of storage here for some gears. Just to make that nice and easy. This guy is set to make gears. And then once the paper's done, it should just go right in here. It should be nice and simple. I don't think anything else is going to be using that, because the Handicrafter's Lodge has the minimum priority. And, well, we got sawdust in there, but now we actually have sawdust, so we can continue making mushrooms. So that's that. We're now going to have 3 of these things on turtle mode. Not really spread out that well, but, it is what it is. Still making mushrooms one at a time over here. Probably should go ahead and switch that over, but I don't want to do that until we get another batch of this in a day and a half, 2 days. Alright, they cut down all of those trees. That's fine. That gets us one more job back. I know that says 20 vacancies. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. We just have to get to the point where it's going to be able to be okay first. And you already know what I'm going to say. I already know what I'm going to say. So if I put a forester here, I can plant more trees. Remember, this is going to stay irrigated for a decent amount of time, no matter what. So if I put this here, that also, if we had trees that could grow in the water, would allow us to plant stuff in there, but you know how that goes. So this is just going to be what it's going to be. It is a house, yes, but all we have to do is plant the trees, and then we can pause it because it's not a dam, so it's not cheating. And we can just unpause it when the time comes. But obviously these are going to want to be Everblossoms, 13 days, 3 logs, versus 15 days, 2 logs for the pines in this version of the game. You just gotta do what you gotta do. Get that all marked up. The rest of these are marked for cutting. Everything else should be totally fine. And the rice has actually grown, which is very exciting news. All we have to do is put it in the fermentation barrel, and then in 2 days we will have some half-fermented sake. It'll hold 60 rice. It'll do batches of 20 at a time, and then it'll give us 60 units of half-fermented sake, which will also hold 3 batches of that there. So this one beaver, all by themselves, will start harvesting the rice. Probably could use another one of these farmhouses, but again, I don't want to build too many too quickly, even though we do need the food. Did we build this other thing yet? No, but it's almost done. Trying to save the empty beaver storage slots for buildings that are absolutely mission critical. Get that hooked up to there. That's fine. I can't really put anything in here because it's going to be flooded, so if there's anything I can build that isn't going to be flooded, that would be a smart thing to do. The pit tank takes 28 logs, but it is a good way to use some of this space. I'm not going to build it yet. 1, because we have literally almost no water. We don't need any more storage as is. And 2, I don't have a lot of regular logs. Alright. Harvest the rice, please and thank you. It's a very, very, very slow process. Sleeping in... I wish they would sleep the same place they work. That would be so convenient. Probably a bunch of reasons why that isn't the case, but it is what it is. Alright, so this is at 33%. This is at 77%. This needs to be deprioritized. There we go. 76, 78. This is on a different time scale entirely. Once these two right here give us the mushrooms, I'm going to turn this one into slow mode. I might wait a little bit longer because I do want to try to space these out, but we are going to be doing our best. This needs to be prioritized. We should have very soon enough to start our first batch of rice to be fermented. And then we're going to be that much closer to making the brain boosting salts. Don't you just love this? Don't you love it with your entire heart? This also hasn't been finished yet. But remember, the recipe for the Floodgate Dam blueprints, it does require 20 brain boosting salts. Which, to make the brain boosting salts, we have to go over here to the alchemist. And we're going to have 20 repetitions of the recipe with the strong alcohol in it, so we do have to have 20 strong alcohol. The distillery, in one batch, will make 10. But it makes 10 from 50 units of the half-fermented sake, which means we do still need to do 2 batches, but we're going to have 20 left over after that. Which means the next batch after that will have enough ready to make the third. It is slowly getting ahead on that, but that should be fine. I think by the time that happens, we're going to have some chestnuts, and then we can think about making chestnut beer. But these guys are still not even 2/3 of the way grown. These are even further behind. And we are starting to plant some more trees here. It is a very slow process, yes, we know. But we're doing okay. And we're 30% of the way to having our first batch of half-fermented sakes. We're making progress. Is it slower than I'd like? Yes. Is it slower than you'd like? Oh, I'm absolutely sure. But it's still progress, and that's what matters. So, I'm going to go ahead and speed through this again. We need to do something about injuries, but there's still a couple things I need to spend science on. Not to mention we don't have extra half-fermented sake, but we will soon. We will soon, and once we have extra half-fermented sake, and we've started making all this other stuff, and I have the science to do it, we're going to make medical beds for injuries. Oh, come on, it's a bad tide? Alright. That really grinds my gears. Well, okay. What that tells me is I do not need to put this guy on anything but harvesting, and I do not need to build this primitive dam. This right here, all of this water is totally fine. It is not connected to this. This is connected to here. We're going to have to build, again, one of these buildings that blocks water. I don't have the floodgate dam yet. We will get there. We will get there. You already know what I was going to say. But we also are starting to make gears, which is exciting because remember what I said we had to have gears for. Well, I hope you do because I don't. All joking aside, we have to have that so we can build the... what in the world was I going to... I don't remember. What a problem. What a problem for me to have where I don't remember what I already said I was going to be building. That is just shameful. That's really annoying. That is extremely annoying. It was like a building that I was pretty sure was really important, and I don't remember what it was. Now I'm gonna have to look at all these different buildings recipes to see what needs a gear. It definitely wasn't that. I mean, I know I need to have it for the floodgate dam. That's not what we're talking about here. This is a different thing entirely. Aha! Is the water pump upgrade? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to build that. We're absolutely going to have to build that because now we're gonna have the problem of having 94 beavers, and we have no water stored because we've not been able to keep up the pumping. Now now I need the science. I need to have 50 science. So what's holding this up? Oh, now it's berries. Now it's berries. Okay, so what's consuming my berries? Who is eating my berries? I know it's not these two. I know it's not that. This isn't eating berries. None of the mushrooms are eating berries. This isn't eating berries. This isn't eating berries. This isn't eating berries. What is eating my berries? It better not be the beavers. I hope not. I need them in here. The kimchi also. Okay. Yeah, they gone through all the kimchi, and the kimchi wasn't able to make more kimchi because why? Okay. Man, early game is so hard. It's so hard. What am I supposed to do, man? I can't do advanced science because that requires the brain boosting salts. I can't make the brain boosting salts because I don't have the ingredients yet. We're gonna get there. We're close. We're close. This just has to finish. But now, man, see, I was gonna put that house in there, but there's no chance I can reach that. I don't have the materials or the technology to unlock the other types of stairs or the other types of platforms. So, yeah, it's just gonna be a little rough. And by a little rough, I mean definitely rough. Yeah, not really any options here. If I had a better way to get up top here, then I'm almost certain like I could make it work. Well, we will see what happens. No sense being upset about it. Just got to get these things. But, oh, these trees are all going to die, too. That's really annoying. I wonder if some of these on this edge will survive. I guess that's probably the only way we will ever know, is just by examining stuff. So these trees, unfortunately, are not going to make it. Unless there's some way for me to get up here. But, you know, you take a look at what I have access to with the staircases. All I have is the scrambled log stairs and the individual flavors of log stairs. Nothing else. Nothing else I can do. I mean, having the gears is good. It's definitely necessary. I'm not going to get 20 more science in the next 2.3 days. That's just not going to happen. And with 30, I'm not going to be able to do anything with these wooden stairs, which would certainly help, and the ladders, of course, are way far off. The only other way I could get up here would be to build 3 tall of a pit and ladder lodge, which requires more logs than I currently have access to. There's no other buildings that will allow the beavers to go up. That is not possible. So, the other idea that I had, it's probably not going to work. I don't like building the same 2-story building here that I have to demolish every time. So I would love to build, for example, a pass-through lodge, but there's no path access over here. The only way that I could have possibly have changed that would be to do one of these numbers and have that doorway connect directly to a doorway here that was in the side of this, but this one doesn't have that. Oh, man. Oh, this is... I don't remember this building existing. Pit and ladder lodge with a hauling and liquid storage. That's a thick one. Does that have a side door or no? No side door. Okay, well that's actually kind of a useful building. Whoa, I don't remember that either. Obviously, I can't really build that anywhere, but that's kind of cool. If you're wondering what these aqueducts are, this is, you know, the Waterbeavers' answer to the, well, aqueducts. The very, very late game. You have to grow giant sequoias and cut them down to do that. What am I supposed to do? Well, obviously we're going to have to build a thing here, and this is just going to have all the bad water come through it, and it is what it is. It's going to be anywhere from, I don't know, 2 to 9 day bad tide, I think. Which doesn't really matter. It's going to kill all these trees anyway. Going to kill all the rice. So we still need to make sure all of the rice gets harvested. That is the goal. This is still going. We should have in the fermenter half-fermented sake 28. They better not be drinking that. Oh, well, you know what? They absolutely are, because there's no water. Oh, I am reaping what I have sown here. Oh, I did a stupid. I should not have done this. I should not have done this at all. That could not go there, and I put it there anyway. So now this is just completely isolated. Ah, man, and they're still not pumping. They're still not doing it. Alright, well, I do need to have these pumps prioritized by haulers. I need to... Oh! Oh, that's why. Meanwhile, at least one person has written, "Duh, you stupid idiot." But... that's fixed. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. This water pump is going to have to go, which is unfortunate because I actually really, really need it. But we're not going to get rid of it yet. I got to get these guys pumping more water so we don't enter with nothing. Food is also, you know, not looking great. But we got that growing mushrooms. We got that growing mushrooms. We got that growing mushrooms. This is still in fast mode, which I guess is probably fine for where we are. I want to set it to slow mode. That's at 3. I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. Until we get better grasp on the mushrooms, I can go ahead and pause the cooking tents. Don't let me forget that I've done that. But that's going to get us cabbage to keep the beavers alive. And hopefully amass more mushrooms before things get incredibly dicey. Seeing the position in which we find ourselves, and that we have 8 injured beavers, I have exactly 30 science. We have no hope of having any more library research until there's more kimchi being produced. It takes more time. I'm going to go ahead and make the executive decision. We're going to take the medical bed for injuries research. We're going to build a couple of those. I probably should put these in spaces that can't grow anything, so... 2 there, 1 there. Again, these won't work without half-fermented sake, but we're producing that, and we're trying to make the strong alcohol. So, just need to be able to make more. Obviously, the rice is going to be dead. Fermentation barrel, I'm going to go ahead and build a second one. See, I was trying to avoid building that there, but I guess that's not going to happen. I'll just put this here. Just build another one of those, if for no other reason than to just have rice storage, because we are out of rice storage. There is nowhere to store rice, and apparently they don't want to take it in here. So 40 logs for the... I really should have done more with that, but that is what it is. I suppose I also probably should just put in a little storage for the rice here, which is there. Yeah, that's going to have to be top priority. Now that our... Yeah, see, now they're going to drink it. They're going to drink the half-fermented sake because it's not going in to the distillery. Please do not drink the half-fermented sake. You've got to put it in here so we can make strong alcohol. And then you have to hope they don't drink the strong alcohol because, well, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. I'm going to go ahead and change this over to brain-boosting salts because we're full on tar. They will start importing items that they can actually use, including the strong alcohol that will be made, hopefully sometime soon. All of this half-fermented sake is going to end up, well, not going to waste, but it's going to be consumed instead of used as a, you know, a helpful thing for these beavers to be working on. Now they can actually start making that. All right. 1.2 days left before the bad tide. We do have to build this other building. I just wanted to make sure the rice was taken care of, which, you know, good luck with that. It is what it is. That needs to be priority. But above all else, we are going to have to get rid of this one water pump. I know. We have to be able to fill this up. Because somebody forgot. And then we are going to put another 2-story watertight lodge right here. That needs to be made immediately. I really hope I have enough logs to do that. I probably won't. That is finished. These are all, well, not technically prioritized that much. This is going to pain me severely, but I gotta delete the fermentation barrel that's almost built, so we have the materials to build. This is why I want these floodgate dams so much. Oh, it's so aggravating. Just, you gotta come get this stuff done, man. At least I have 7 builders now instead of 4. But now this is gonna get a little dicey here, folks. Bring me my materials and build this, but don't build it too fast. Don't build it too fast. Alright. I accidentally paused the game instead of this. This will remain paused until probably the start of the bad tide. Not the game, obviously, because that's not how time works. But this 2-story watertight lodge is going to have to remain paused for right now so they don't build it, so that we can actually have all this water come back in here. Strong alcohol. We have strong alcohol. Please, for the love of all that is holy, do not drink the strong alcohol. Place it in the alchemist so we can start making brain-boosting salts. 10 strong alcohol is halfway to what we need to make the recipe for the floodgate dam blueprint. I'm going to convert over to that. If for no other reason than to put the brain-boosting salts in there so the beavers don't actually eat them. I can't really sit here and call these beavers idiots because, well, you put something like that in front of them, guess what they're going to do? Please do not tell me they ate that already. I'm going to be very upset. Okay, good. Good. They actually put some strong alcohol in here. Brain-boosting salts, please do not boost your brains without my consent. Is it going up here? It will be. I know we don't have 50 paper. We do have the pencil sets. We do have the scrap metal. We do have the tar. We technically have the logs. If we can continue making paper, next episode we can research the floodgate dam blueprints. That, obviously we still have to research the item, and then we have to build it. But we're going to be one step closer, and that's what matters. Meanwhile, this rice has to absolutely must come out. Still going there. It's all going to be dead in half a day anyway, so I guess, it is what it is. Gonna have to make sure that goes. Have we built any of these? We have. Half-fermented sake has not been provided, but it will. It will. There's going to be that little bit of extra slop space in the inventory that they can, just conveniently leave some there for those guys. Materials are starting to come in here. Things are progressing kind of okay. I think, given, how things are, I probably should leave this completely open so everything can get pumped. I am upset with myself that I still had these at minimum priority. I deserve the criticism for that. But we need to go ahead and get this watertight lodge finished. I'm pretty confident they're good. Yep, okay. That's taken care of. Good. Now they can just keep on pumping this. This will not be flooded with bad water. This will not. This will. So all the rice is going to go away. But we knew that's what was going to happen. All these sunflowers are also going to die. Again, we knew that was going to happen. That's just the way it is. Not really much else we can do about that. This is still looking okay, I suppose. We have enough to make a decent additional bit of paper. Oh, this video's already super long. Alright. Well, we're working on it, folks. We're working on it. We do actually have brain-boosting salts. And as long as... Okay, they are being delivered. That's good. Because once we have the 20 for this, then we can switch the library over to the brain-boosting salt recipe, which is going to give us 4 science in 0.4 hours instead of 2 science in 0.5. And it will also, instead of the sunflower seeds, it will use the green peas, which... I guess technically I don't have, so maybe it's a good thing we didn't do that. At any rate, things could be a lot worse. They also could be a lot better, but they could definitely be a lot worse. We have mushrooms, theoretically, growing. Just taking a long time. We have cabbages that can be harvested. We have both of these cooking tents paused. There are still cabbages in them. And we do have some storage for cabbages, so the beavers are not going to starve, even though this says 123. We actually have about 400 or 500 worth of food they can eat. And then when we have a more stable mushroom supply, we can turn this back on. The fermentation barrel is, you know, still working on kimchi. It's fine. It is what it is. Still making more science. We're just going to have to keep on doing what we're doing. And the half-fermented sake will go in here eventually, after we have enough alcohol. How are we looking here? 8 out of 20. Somebody ate brain-boosting salts. This will still need bad water. That's fine. We're going to continue having it. And the strong alcohol, of course, is going to have to come in time as this gets additional half-fermented sake and stuff processed. And now it is time for the bad tide. It's only 3 days, but yeah, it's going to kill trees. It is what it is. So this is going to be where we have to end this episode. I'm trying. It's very, very hard, and I need you to understand. It's really really hard to have these episodes be short and still get anything accomplished. But I'm going to do my best to, you know, not let them get too terribly long. So we'll keep this brief. Beard Boosters, I really appreciate you supporting the channel. Everyone else as well. It was brought to my attention that I've made some mistakes in the recognition. It's not rankings. It's not a competitive sport. But somewhere along the line, names and math and wire and stuff got crossed in the whole keeping track of 1,500 different names. So please do always feel free to reach out to me in email or comments or whatever, and let me know if your name is in the wrong place on the list or if it's gone, because sometimes stuff just slips through the cracks. It is really hard to keep track of 1,500 different names manually, and I need a better solution, but I can't think of one. So if I can't keep up with this stuff, I'm going to have to modify the amount of names that are on the list, and I don't want to do that either, because I really appreciate you guys supporting everything. So please do always feel free to let me know if something isn't right, or you feel like you're in the wrong month category or whatever. Always wanting to make sure that you're represented appropriately for the amount of time that you've been supporting the channel. It's very important to me. So, you just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. And aside from that, we'll be back in this series on Friday. We'll be back with the Folktales tomorrow. And we'll be back with the Iron Teeth on Project 1K on Wednesday. Getting very close to the end of the Folktales series. I'm not going to cut it early because I want to make sure we do everything we want to do with that. But this week will probably be the last several episodes, and then we'll finish that one this upcoming weekend, is what I'm planning on doing. We'll see what happens. But that's way more time than I wanted to spend on this video today. I hope you enjoy them anyway. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we will see you again very soon. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.